A very good morning, everybody. I am CS Kajal from Jnandeep Academy, Pune. And today we are here to discuss about the Hindu newspaper analysis dated 16th November 2024. So let's start. These are the news that we will be covering today. The number one is about the peacekeeper women who are fighting for the cause of Manipur. After that, we will be talking a bit about SEBI insider trading. Next, we will be talking about the war complications have affected a lot of climate issues that and the international forums where this discussion has been going on. Next, we will be talking about Sri Lanka elections. After that, we will be talking about the central law and how they will be tackling certain crimes because recently the Kolkata rape case that just happened, so there was a demand that they need a different law. So now there have been research and studies on saying that how are already enough sufficient central laws can deal with women's safety. Okay, so this is what we will be talking about today. So the first news is Manipur's Peacekeeper Women Rally. So this is a rally that took place, and yesterday we discussed this. Day before yesterday we discussed this about the issues that have been happening at Manipur. So because there is a lot of violence that has erupted in Manipur, also the AFSPA Act, which we spoke about since the last 2 days, in the AFSPA Act as well, people, the government has been a bit hard on the people, they feel, and because of so much violence, because of so much internal disturbances, these people, these women, who they have come together as peacekeepers. Now, who are exactly these women? So they are the PYQ'z, which means peacekeepers. Okay, so the last time that they came on the streets was during the Indo-Naga peace process. That they thought that let's just keep peace and let's go on the streets and encourage peacekeeping. So this was, I guess, in 1974. Yes. Okay. And after that, it is yesterday that they came on the streets. So after so many years. And why did this mainly happen? Because the National Socialist Council of Nagaland, that is NSCIN, they have threatened that if the government doesn't solve the issues and if the civil unrest doesn't come to an end, there will be a armed resistance, means they will come, they will pick up the weapons and they will come on the roads. This is what the NSCN has declared. And on 8th November, the General Secretary said that the center has been betraying the August 2015 Framework Agreement, and the center has, in letter and in spirit, the central government is not following that, and because of this, we could return to violence. We will take up violence means, and that's the reason PYQ'z, they mean peacekeepers, so they have come on the streets ki no violence should be created. Now, in Tanghul language, PYQ'z means a peacekeeper. Okay. So now they have said that Nagas are fiercely independent. Okay, the people of Nagaland, that is Nagas, they are independent. They don't need anyone. But their homeland, like Nagaland, this was just divided between two countries. Half part was left with India and another part was given to Myanmar. So 60% of our people, they are in India, and 40% Nagas are in Myanmar. Now, these people are traditionally together. They have same customs. They belong to the same ancestors, the old ancestors. So they feel pretty much traditionally connected to each other. But 60% of them are in India, 40% of them are in Myanmar. This was done during the colonial British division. So because of this, there is just a fence, and that has become a border. So the peacekeepers are also not happy with this, the PYQ'z. They are also opposing on this point, and they've also been saying that how is it possible when half of us, like when all of us are divided into two halves, how is this possible that we can be okay and our Naga people can be normal without any violence? This is a bit difficult, so we need a solution to that. Also, they are not really okay with AFSPA. They're like, AFSPA Act is putting a lot of pressure and it is creating a sense of insecurity amongst the Nagas. So none of them are actually okay with it. Okay. This has been happening in Nagaland. Now, if we talk about the free movement regime, I will just give you a brief about the border that we share with Myanmar. We do share a border, but it's not a very strict border. There is a free movement regime, and it was mutually agreed because we have common people. So we do need to keep an open platform to travel from one place to another. So it allows all the tribes that live along the border, they can travel up to either side, 16 kilometers inside Myanmar. They can come 16 kilometers inside India through Nagaland, of course, without a visa. They don't need that. Because as I said, they are the members of the same sector, the same community. They can connect to each other. They are just separated by a border. That's why 16 kilometers here, 16 kilometers there. We've given that permission. Also, as we are aware of, since 10 years, we are working a lot on Act East policy. So to encourage that as well, this one of the step was taken. Partition of India-Myanmar border was done during 1826. As I mentioned, it was done by the Britishers. It did not consider the opinions of the local people, or else this would have never happened. Because of this demarcation, the same people were divided into two different countries. If we talk about Myanmar, it is a land bridge connecting South Asia to Southeast Asia. So of course, for us, Myanmar is important. Also, it is very close to the northeast states of India. So for us, strategically also, it is a good link. So yes, this is a bit about Myanmar. Now, if we talk about how much India has done for Myanmar or how our bilateral relations are, first of all, we are the 5th largest trading partner. Also, Myanmar is the largest recipient of India's oil and gas sector. In the entire Southeast Asia, Myanmar को सबसे ज़्यादा investment goes from India. Infrastructure projects such as Kaladan Multimodal Transit Transport Project and the Sitwe Port, all this is done so that we can give more investments to them. The trade can be promoted there. Their GDP can grow. So we are doing that. Also, we've given $2 billion USD ka soft loans to Myanmar. Whenever there were disasters that Myanmar was facing, for example, Cyclone Mora, for example, Comain, or the earthquake in Shan state. So India was always very quick and fast to react. Now India and Myanmar, because they have common heritage, common Buddhist culture, they have a shared history of Buddhism, also the Britishers, the colonialism. So for diplomatic relations, it becomes easier because we have the mutual grounds, we have some commonalities. After that, the border is highly porous, it is poorly guarded. There is no much guarding out there. We do not have, like the way India-Pakistan border has a lot of security. Indian-Chinese border has a lot of security. Whereas it's not so much. So that does cause problems sometimes when the rebel tribals, you know, they are disappointed or they get angry on some issues. Also, there is this insurgency prone area where the people are not really happy with the situation. There is an opium producing area which is very close to the borders. So this might be like a bit of disadvantage, but otherwise when it comes to Myanmar, our relationship with Myanmar has been pretty smooth as compared to many of our other neighbors. Next, we will be talking about SEBI. It has warned ABB India on insider trading. So ABB India, it received a letter from SEBI. I'll tell you what SEBI is, but let's see what letter it received. It received this letter that the insider rules, the rules, insider trading rules are not being followed by two of its employees. The company secretary, the CS out there, he has received an administrative warning letter also from SEBI that he has violated certain terms and conditions. Okay, now let's see what this is. If we talk about SEBI, SEBI is considered as the police of your stock market. Okay, insider trading. What do you mean exactly by insider trading? This we will take care of insider trading later. First, we will see what SEBI is. So you all will understand insider trading better. Now, SEBI full form is Securities and Exchange Board of India. This is the main authority or the main person, the main organization that controls the entire stock market of India. It is literally considered as the police. It is a statutory body. It reports to Ministry of Finance. How is its composition? The board of directors are at the top hierarchy. They are responsible for the overall management of SEBI. Board of directors mein there are 9 members. Now, who are these 9 members? A chairperson nominated by Government of India. Please note this. After that, 2 members from the union who deal with finance. Okay. After that, 1 member from RBI, because we also need the banking details, and 5 other members that are appointed by the Government of India. Also, out of these 5, at least 3 members shall be whole-time members who are continuously present in SEBI and they are taking care of day-to-day work. So, and if you talk about SEBI, it is a quasi-judicial body. It means as good as a decision-making body. It can also impose penalties, it can draft regulations, and if they see someone who's not following the stock market rules, SEBI can also give them criminal punishments. Okay, so it is as good as, it has a lot of authority with it. Now we'll see what warning did SEBI give. They gave an insider trading warning. Now what is insider trading? Now insider trading, when a particular employee has certain, let it be an employee or let it be anyone who is in a position that he can get confidential information of a particular company. That confidential information, secret information that is sensitive. Okay, so if anybody who is in a particular position, that person can be an employee, that person can be a relative, that person can be a friend. So if you are getting secret information about any company before the public gets it, before it has gone to the public, in such a case, if you use that information and do trading, so for example, if you know that our company has got a foreign contract and because of this the share price is going to go up, if you are aware of that particular thing, this is not known in the public domain yet, but you being the employee, you know it. So now what do? You go home, you just purchase shares because you know that tomorrow the price is going to go up. So you purchase shares today and you place an order for sell tomorrow once the price rises up. So here you are using the unpublished price sensitive information for your own benefit without letting the public know. So this is wrong. This is not allowed because SEBI says this information is unpublished. Let the public know. Be fair. Otherwise, the ones who know the secret information, only they will get richer. Only they will manipulate the stock market. So that is insider trading. Okay. So this warning has been given to ABB. Okay. Next, we will be talking about the wars complicating talks on UN climate goals at COP29. We spoke about COP in details yesterday. In the yesterday session slide also, I spoke about how the countries have met. We spoke about the basic countries. Okay, what exactly basic is and which all countries are a part of this particular organization. We've seen all that in details, but just a little news regarding that too. Now, just for the ones who did not see this yesterday, now what is COP? It is a conference of parties. It is an annual, they meet annually and they are the members of UN framework that works for climate change. Okay, now they have come together and they signed an agreement in 1992 that will talk about climate negotiations of these particular countries. Okay, now the UNFCCC, the members commit that we will stabilize the greenhouse gases concentration. Right now there are total 198 parties. Now what is their aim? The aim that was done in Paris Agreement was that we will limit the global temperatures from 2 degrees and we will get it down even less than 1.5 degrees overall the world temperature. Also the parties have agreed that they will give a list of nationally the contributions that they can do, national development contributions that every country will do that towards achieving the goals of climate change. Okay, every 5 years these will be renewed. Even we have our own list of NDCs. So yes, we have, this is the main base agreement that this time the COP29 has been fighting on, and COP29 have 29 May, the talks are only about the Paris Agreement. That in Paris Agreement, it was also decided that the developed countries will take care of us, will take care of the developing countries, but that is not happening. Okay, so developed countries are just avoiding it. So that is the main issue that has been going on. And yesterday they also spoke about that during COP29, the wealthier nations, they are supposed to pay to the developing nations as we had decided. But right now, nobody is doing it because the entire world is busy with wars like Gaza and Ukraine. When you are busy with wars, how will it not distract you from the climate crisis? Obviously, it will. And we will fail in the climate fight because the entire concentration will be on wars and survival. So, when will we even think about climate? Okay. So now A.L. Hussein Abdullah, he is the Crown Prince of Jordan. He said, we meet at a moment where faith in our ability to stand together is broken. We are not sure if we can stand together because tomorrow any country might just attack any other country. We are in that situation. Also, saving our planet must start from the premises that all lives are worth saving. The solidarity we need depends on embracing that truth. Big leaders are saying such things. They are saying that we should stop fighting wars now and we should take care of each other because that's how the peace process is going to be in picture and that's how everyone will be able to survive. Okay. So now wars of Gaza and Ukraine are being blamed that the climate negotiations can't go ahead. Next, we will be talking about Sri Lanka polls. President Anura's coalition wins big. Okay. This is like a big breaking news. I think we should cover this at the end because this will take time. So first we'll talk about this and then we will go back to Sri Lanka. Okay. Now, central law to tackle crimes against health workers not needed. So what had happened was when the RG Kar Kolkata rape case happened, there was a fire in the entire country and the health workers and everyone, in fact, they demanded that we need different rules for protection of doctors, not only doctors, for anybody who is working in this particular industry. Okay. So after that, a national task force was set up by the Supreme Court after the RG Kar rape case, and they were asked that NTF, you tell me what should we do. The Supreme Court set this committee up. So now yesterday NTF told them there is no need of a separate central law, absolutely no requirement, because we already have many laws to take care of our healthcare professionals. The Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, that is the Indian law. There are so many Indian laws that take care of the woman, that take care of the doctors, that take care of the medical staff. So we already have such laws in place. Also, they said that 24 states have already enacted such laws specifically for healthcare professionals. And waha healthcare professional and medical professional terms have been specifically defined. Two more bills have been introduced in regard to this. Most of the state laws, minor offences are covered, of course, and the major offences or the heinous offences are covered as per Indian laws. So we do not need any specific law. This is what the NTF has said to the Supreme Court. Okay. Now let's see what NTF was. So the Supreme Court, it constituted a 10-member NTF, and they said, let us know if we need to formulate good laws or if we need to come up with something new for the safety, working conditions and well-being of medical professionals. So the task force, it comprises of senior doctors from diverse background. It also includes 4 ex-officio members, that is Cabinet Secretary, Health Secretary, Chairperson of National Medical Commission, President of National Board of Examiners. So can you see such big people were a part of this NTF, and they said we do not need any laws. Our laws are enough. Also, the bench had directed the task force to examine and recommend measures for safety of women or medical professionals to be specific. But right now we have bills like prevention of violence against healthcare professional, also clinical establishment bill, and there are so many other state laws. Even after the Nirbhaya case, there was laws for women. So there are many laws NTF says. Okay. Now let's go back to Sri Lanka. So there has been a breaking news just few days back. We spoke about Trump and we congratulated him over being the president. So today Sri Lanka has also got its new leader and we congratulate him too on winning this, and that too in a very unexpected manner by a huge margin. So let's see what exactly happened in Sri Lanka. Also after that we will be seeing a topic which is important from polity point of view, polity perspective. Okay. So, President Anura Kumara Disanaya, okay, the name is of course complicated. This is the president. Let's call him Anura for now. So, he was a ruling alliance main person and he secured an extreme landslide victory. Like this, it was a very unexpected one. And this happened in, this was declared yesterday. It was the general elections that were going on. It broke all the records of strong governments of the past. It has made history in the island ethnics minority dominated northeastern hill country. So the ethnics, they dominate certain parts of Sri Lanka. So it has made history in Sri Lanka, this election. Now, why is this election so important? Why are we talking about this election so important? Because first of all, Sri Lanka being a neighbor, whoever is their leader is going to affect our policies with our neighbors. So we of course need, whoever it is needs to be in our favor. Now let's see what happens if he is in our favor or no. But at least in Sri Lanka he is loved and he is been respected a lot, and that is why there has been one-sided voting. Now you'll realize how one-sided voting. So the party National People's Power, okay, we'll call it NPP. Now NPP, out of 225 member house, their parliament, our parliament is 552, their parliament is 225, okay. So out of 225 members, they got 159 seats, which is huge. It is a clear-cut majority, okay. 2/3 majority they had. Imagine having so much majority in an election, a general election. That is how much this man is loved. Now, the opposition, that is SJB, they got just 40 seats. So, this party got 159 seats. Below that, the opposition, they got just 40 seats. So, we can clearly see there is no strong opposition here, right? And now the very famous Rajapaksa, okay, he was very famous. We had acquired happy, sad relationships with Rajapaksa. So, Rajapaksa party, which was very powerful at one time, extremely powerful. This party was nearly wiped out with its presence in the legislature sinking to only 3 seats. So last time when they were powerful, they had 145 seats. And this time it just has 3 seats. Can you see how much their impact has fallen? Like they are literally wiped out. Just 3 seats in the parliament. That's it. Okay. Now, and that too, this is in a span of 4 years. There's so much difference. The poll outcome, it gives President Anura a ample power in the legislature because out of 225, 159 seats are his party. So it gives a lot of power to him to take decisions politically and strategically in favor of the country, in favor of their political party. Okay, so this is what has happened. Now, if we compare it, I have just given his picture for your reference. If we compare it to the September presidential election, the NPP vote share, it rose a lot. Also, this is a very remarkable mandate that the North and East that are home to Tamils and Muslims drew attention. So, the entire country came together and has voted for this one person. Also, in Jaffna, this is like a big thing. In Jaffna, the NPP won 3 out of 6 seats. So in Jaffna, there are total 6 and NPP won 3. So now why is it a big deal? Because in Jaffna, the NPP was considered as an enemy. Okay, but they winning almost 50% seats there, it clearly shows a public verdict. Now, there was a mainstream party from the south to topple prominent northern Tamil parties. So the northern Tamil parties have been wiped off by the NPP. Now this includes the ITAC. The poll results in this region, they overturned the image of NPP. As I said, the image of NPP was that they are anti-Tamil and they are anti the local people. But this image got turned, and that's the reason they got so many votes. Also, the JVP member, he said that Jaffna is the crown of this victory. So, passing such a statement, so you can imagine how important Jaffna is for this particular victory. Because in Jaffna, it was never expected that NPP can come there, because their own political parties were dominating there for a very long period of time. But still, NPP winning there was shocking. Okay, now let's see how different the Sri Lanka runs its government from the Indian government. So we follow a prime ministerial format, okay. Sri Lanka follows a presidential format. We follow a British format. Sri Lanka follows the US format. That is a presidential one. In India, it is the prime minister who takes all the decisions, correct? The president takes it, but the advice is of the prime minister. And he is the main person. Like general elections are fought for what? For electing the PM. But here, general elections are fought for electing the president of the country. He is the main person. He is also the commander-in-chief for all the armed forces. So it is a presidential system in Sri Lanka, not like us. Us is a prime ministerial system. Now, if we talk about Sri Lanka, the president is elected directly for 5 years. In India, the president is appointed, correct? In Sri Lanka, the president is elected by the people. They vote for the president. It is done for 5 years. He is responsible to the Parliament of Sri Lanka. He has to exercise certain duties as per the constitution of their nation. Also, the president can be removed from the Parliament when 2/3 of the vote are against him. There is a no confidence motion. And also, the Supreme Court gives its mutual affirmation. In this case, he will be removed. The elected president, he is considered as the head of the cabinet. He is responsible for appointing the cabinet ministers. Okay. Also, he is responsible to the parliament. In India, everything, all of this is done by the prime minister and not the president. The deputy to the president. Now, please mark this. The president in Sri Lanka is the main guy, and his deputy is the prime minister. We do not have such things. So, we have a president and vice president. Okay. So, yes. Sri Lanka mein, the prime minister is the deputy of the president, who is also the leader of the ruling party in the parliament. Now, the president is responsible for creating a new cabinet, for dissolving it. Also, if they want to appoint any new person, everything the president does. A no confidence motion, until and unless it's passed, the president will be in power and he can exercise almost all the decisions. The president is elected through a contingent vote. Okay. Next, out of 225 members, 196 are elected in multiple seat constituencies. So, out of this 159 votes this NPP party got. So, can you imagine the huge number? And the remaining 22 are elected through system of proportional representation. Remaining 29, they are appointed by secretary in proportion to the number of parties. Each party has got kitna votes. In proportion to that, they will appoint these 29 remaining members. According to the proportion, more the number of votes your party got, greater will be the proportion of these 29 members, may say the ones you can appoint. Okay. The Sri Lankan system, it is an amalgamation of custom law, English common law, Roman Dutch civil law, the legal system. So Sri Lanka has judiciary. This consists of the court and legal system. It is just the same way for application and interpretation of law. The Sri Lankan courts, they have judges. There are judges of Supreme Court who are nominated by the Parliamentary Council. Also, they are appointed by the president. Okay, so remember this, the judges are appointed by the president in Sri Lanka. He has the power to even suspend. He can summon. He can end a legislative session. He can dissolve a parliament whenever he wants to. So, president has enormous powers in the presidential system. This is just like US. So, yes, that's it for the day. So, if we talk about Sri Lanka, you all need to know from polity point of view the difference between a prime ministerial setup and a presidential setup. Okay, so that's all for today. These are the news. Do definitely stay in touch with the current affairs relating to COP. We'll be getting this every day. And also, as I'm talking about Manipur, we will be creating a special video on Manipur crisis, but do stay in touch with the current updates of Manipur on a daily basis. Okay. So yes, that's it for the day. We'll stop for today and I will see you all next week. Till then, take care of yourselves and study well. Thank you.